Hi, everybody, and welcome. We are doing Sunday Funday today, where I'm going to be embroidering and hanging out with you together. Just kind of checking, making sure everything's going live and doing its thing. Everything's good. So, hi, welcome. Today is Sunday Funday. So, thought I would do something fun and creative while sewing and hanging out and Q&A, answering questions. Um, just kind of sewing together with the summit, which is what we're sewing on right now. So let me know if you have any questions. Let me double check where. Okay. Yeah, so chat is over there and nice and big. Perfect. Okay. Thank you for getting me all set up and ready to go. Have a good day. All right. So, basically today what I'm going to be doing is making some Thanksgiving, I keep making sure I'm in the screen, drink coasters, mug rugs. So every year I have, Thanksgiving. My family doesn't really do too much for Thanksgiving. On Thanksgiving, it's usually the Saturday after. So a bunch of friends that I have that don't really have families that do much at all. We've all started getting together every year and having Thanksgiving together. And so, last year I set up my sewing machine and I was sewing all of these beautiful, wonderful strips of fabric that I do when I want to sit and just kind of like not think too much about, embroidery or machines, or I'm trying to figure out something, I will sit and just sew squares together. Just something I can do, and it lets my brain just kind of work in the background. So I made a bunch of these last year during Thanksgiving, just hanging out by the fire. Everybody was hanging out, and I was kind of bored sitting there by the fire and just chatting. So had my machine going, and I was making these strips while we were all hanging out. And so now I want to do something with them. So for the people, because every year I kind of make something and do something for everybody. And one year I did sublimation cups, and one year I did some print and cut vinyl shirts and patches. And so this year I wanted to do a mug rug, because we all like having special, mug rugs to put our drinks on. And some people actually change them out according to the season. So whatever holiday is going on, their drink coaster, mug rugs reflect whatever that season is. Um, so yeah, I thought it would be a really cool gift that people would actually like utilize more than a T-shirt that they're just gonna wear once, or a cup that's gonna end up in the cupboard that they never actually do anything with. So, let me make sure that I can pull up the design. Oh yeah, it's still in there from last time. However, I did have some issues with my design, so I do want to load it again. So let's go to my network. And question is, where is it? Saving your files and being organized is always like the hardest thing. So it would have been personal, something I did for me, my friends. So I'm actually on the network drive, which is connected to my computer where I have all of my files saved over there right now. Oh, I'm not wearing my apron. Let me get my apron. There, now I feel dressed for creating in the studio. Oh, and there's the file. Let me double check save. I just kind of went back in my design and just kind of moved a few things around. It was like stopping and sewing in one spot. And it was just a bug. For some reason, sometimes you end up with a bug in your design. So I know it's a bug. So all I did was kind of move my start and stop points around. So if it ends up still stopping and sewing in one spot during one section of this, I'll just redo it. So I can show you let me switch this to the screen. This is the screen. So this is like basically what I made. And so really it's like an applique. I have a walk stitch that's going to happen first. Let me hide all of it. So I have my walk stitch. And then I have a tack down stitch, which I like my tack downs being a bean because this is going to tack down 2 layers of fabrics. Then I have a nice quilting sort of geometric pattern that I created. There you go, so you can kind of see that to kind of quilt it all down. And then I have my lettering, and then I have a nice single line center to kind of attack everything down. Yeah, tack it all down, and then I have my cover stitch to give me that beautiful full satin cover. Let's see, 3D. So that's kind of the design. See, no chats yet. No chats yet. Okay, let's go back to the tripod. So like, this is, you can see all the little pieces of fabric in there, and you can see that I used yellow on this one. Maybe you can see it. Well, how's the light? There you go. You can see it definitely in the darker pieces. And then my dates. So they're all going to be unique. So I have 2 layers on the top. This layer of this like fabric strips and stuff that I've made. And then the next layer is a absorbent core. These are some scraps from another project that I did that are perfect size for that. And they are designed to absorb. So it's an absorbent core. So that's going to be right under there. And then this back fabric is some scraps from a project that is PUL fabric. So it's a polyurethane lined fabric. So it's meant to keep water from going through so that you don't get wet on your tables. So I'm literally making this entire project out of scraps. I just have to pick my colors. I don't like this variegated edge. It kind of makes the edge blend a little. I want the edge to pop more, so I think I'm going to do it the same color as the lettering. Okay, so the design file has been resaved. Let's load it. I just love the touchscreen. Love this. Let's see, can you see it? Sort of. It's going to be really reflecty from the light. But I'm basically loading my design. I'm going to set up my colors. It's going to be the same as I had before, which is basically a stop after everything, but I want to change my 15. I have this variegated saved right now, and I don't want to use that. I want to use this purple, which is 3. So I'll set that, and I think I'm going to do all of it in purple. But I'm going to leave yellow for the I'm going to leave yellow for my quilting pattern. Okay. I'm going to bring my minimum down to 3. And what hoop am I using? What hoop am I using? Still no chat. Okay, just a tree. How big is the patch? How big is the patch? How big is the patch? Let's see. It is 5 inches. I tried a 4-inch one, and the 4-inch one was too small. Like, barely got your drink on it, but let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's 5 inches. So it's 5 inches, so that's a pretty good size. You can fit a coffee cup on there, a drink cup on there, kind of like anything. Thanks for saying hi, Peggy. How you doing? Live from Pensacola, we got Peggy. It's nice to know who's chiming in from where. All right, I need my scissors. So I use these kind of scissors. These are just 2 different brands, but they're basically the same. They're bent. They're called Ultimate Machine Embroidery scissors, and you can see there's just different size of openings for your fingers. I really like the large hole, but this one was pretty and anodized. My mom got these for me for my birthday. So I got my scissors. Doing great. That's awesome. I love it. Sunday Funday. Okay. Hoop size for 5-inch. I'm probably going to use a 7-inch square. I think the 7 will work great for this. And no, I do not have any magnetic hoops, so I'm using traditional hoops. Okay. Yeah, that'll fit. We'll see if I have enough room to trim it. I don't know if you can see that. You can't really see the screen, but yeah, it's just reflecting from the light. That's even worse. Okay. What if I like shade it? Ooh, sort of, huh? Yeah, so you can see the size of the hoop and you can see that it's in the hoop. I wish there was a way that I could video capture like this. That would be freaking amazing, because then you could see what I'm doing. Maybe I'll send an email and see if there's a way to do it. For next Sunday Funday, I'd like to try to do some lives every Sunday and just kind of hang out. This is why I love my tabletop. So this is the extra large tabletop. Which is the size that I have and what I like. So when I'm doing in the hoop projects and I'm doing a lot of pressing inside, I like having the table so that I don't, loosen my hoop and my fabric and what I'm doing. Especially when I'm dealing with using tearaway. Woof, the stuff you can't, once it's in there, it's in there. And my hoop looks really linty and dirty because I have a double sticky tape there. Just make sure nothing slips. Should probably peel it off and redo it one of these days. All right, I'm using color 3. We have a good needle and it's threaded, and we're using 10, which we have a good needle and it is all threaded. Let's check our bobbin. Put a little drop of oil. I know you can't see me under here, but I'm putting a drop of oil in my hook for the day. Awesome. I'm going to pop the bobbin in. guess I could use a colored bobbin, but nah, I think white on the back will be just fine. Okay. Okay. Chat, no new chats. We got our design. That is set. 1,000 per minute is gonna be fine. I guess I'm ready to start my first one. Woo. I'm just happy to be sewing. I sew every day. Beautiful embroideries, but it's never things I want to make. So that's why I'm trying to call it Sunday Funday. So it's like stuff that I want to make or things that I might be making for a friend. Nice. All right. First layer is my absorbent core. That one's a little small. That one's even smaller. Dealing with scraps. Right, there we go. That one fits. Okay. And a piece of my fabric. And make sure this is going to be big enough. This red right in the middle. That looks good. All right. Can I see the edge? Nope. All right. Now, you guys know I like to tape stuff down. So I had to get a new tape dispenser. My last one went flying off of the machine once when we had to hit our brakes really hard on the road and shattered. So I had to get a new one, and now it's pretty and pink. My stitches, I'm just kind of lifting the edge to see if my stitching is under there so that I make sure I cover it. Tape, tape, tape. All right. Start. I love that you can put the grabber in with the applique out. How does it sound whenever the machine is running and I'm talking? What's that sound like? Putting the new machine to work. Yes, ma'am. So how does it sound? What's the volume of my voice whenever the machine is running? Let me know. Welcome, Golden Dirt, to our live. And Joanne? J-O, Joanne? Looks like Joanne. Welcome. Hi. Thank you. So, I'm here to sew and make things, but I'm also here to answer questions if I can, or if you have questions about the summit. I know it's the new machine. I'm doing an applique is the technique that I'm working on today. So if you have any questions about applique, let me know. Awesome. So that's going to be nice right there. So now I'm going to trim all the excess around the edge. You're fine. I hear you clear. Thank you. I hear you just fine. Thank you. I don't know what kind of delay is on. Usually it's like a 30-second delay for when you reply and all that kind of stuff. But I really like the new anodized scissors, Mom. They feel beefier. Like the blades are actually like a little wider than the other blades than these. Like these are narrower and these are wider, so they feel sturdier in the curve. It's especially when I'm dealing with cutting thick stuff and seams and that kind of thing. Get this trimmed out and get the machine started, and then I'll check my chat. I got to slow down back. Before I started on YouTube, I was doing my lives on Twitch. And if you don't know what Twitch is, it's basically a gaming platform. Because I was on there gaming, and then I started doing my embroidery there, but then I realized very quickly nobody goes to Twitch to like learn stuff about embroidery. So I switched over to platforms to YouTube. And I've only done a few lives so far, but I really want to get back into doing them. I do enjoy the interaction with people. All right, so you can see how good and close I got on my trim as I throw stuff all over. It's fine, I'll clean it up later. Okay, so I did trim really nice and close to my edges here. I do have my cover stitch for that set as a 50. So it's basically a 5mm cover. If it does a good job of covering, I'll keep it that way. But if I feel like I need to make it wider, I will widen it for the next ones. Okay, let me put a piece of tape so my scissors don't fall off of my table. All right, let me check chat. What do we have over here? We got, have you named your new machine? I have named her. However, she is just called Summit right now. So I haven't worked with her enough to see any kind of personality to come out other than that at the moment. So, you know, we'll see. I'm going to loosen my active feed for this so it doesn't try to run so tight. So I raised it to 10. Now it's running closer to 14, 15, much looser. But I don't want to compress it too much. Maybe I'll even raise my presser foot. 3 clicks. I did 3 clicks. Oh yeah, that's better. It's not hitting those seams as much. But I just love this tabletop. You know, the hard part of this is these strips of fabric are all so beautiful. I just love this. It's going to be hard to pick like where, and I brought enough choices. This is how many strips just I grabbed. 2 bundles of strips. So I have 10, I think, in each bundle that I make. So I only brought 20 strips. So I got plenty to play with. But like this one is the piece that I did my first 3-inch one out of, and then I did my 5-inch, 5-inch one. But this one is not big enough to get another one out of. It peeks out. So this will go back in my scraps and get made back into a long strip. So I'm not worried about any of that. It'll all get used. I'm kind of wondering about this, if it's wide enough. If it's just barely, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to try to squeak it. I have too many to play with. Oh yeah, I can definitely get one there. I fold it in half. Ooh, I can't get more than 2 out of each strip. If I do one here, I have enough, but it won't be big enough to make another one. So I'll probably take all of my scraps of these and stitch them back into a long strip again. All right, so one more out of you. No problem. Let's see, chat. It is seems very bright here. Wonder if it's like something to do with the camera. At one point we had adjusted the camera brightness to see if we could see the screen better, so maybe it's in the camera. I don't know. That's on my wonderful Hubsy Websy. My husband does all of that, so I'm very lucky to have somebody who's got a background in theater and degree and does lights and sound and like all of this stuff is right up his alley. He's actually excited to set it all up for me whenever I want to do this kind of thing because he gets to do what he likes. So we work very well together that way. Where's my water? All right, water. Oops. All right. So, ooh, that looks so good. Look at that. It's just beautiful. Nice and flat so your drink won't tip over or wobble. You can still see all the pretty little pieces in there. Very nice. All right, so now I'm at the point to stitch the lettering, right? I think the next step is lettering. Yeah. So I'm just going to put it back in and let it sew. I don't actually have to do anything because after I do the lettering, I'm going to put the fabric on the back. So we'll stitch lettering. Oh yeah, I think I'm going to change my design. So I'm going to take you to the design while I change it. Okay, so right after I have my lettering, it's going to do this single line center, but I don't want to do that because I'm going to have to trim that other fabric. So it actually needs a bean stitch after that, and I'm going to get rid of the single line center. Duplicate the bean stitch, put it back up, walk, bean. Then it does, then I'll do the walk, do the bean, attach it, cut it, detail, detail. I'm going to make that purple. Then a bean stitch, and then single line center. Let's do my cover stitch. Yeah. Save that. All right, so I'll have to reload that design file when I go back. Maybe it's just my display that looks washed out white. It's even on my screen when I was working on the screen in the software over there, it looked pretty washed out as well over there. Haha. Nice. And then we get to see how long each one of these takes. Sewing and trimming like a champ. Oh, have I named my new machine? Well, I'm running at 1,000 stitches per minute right now. I only have the 7511 needles in my machine, so I don't want to try to run too fast because I know there's going to be seams and sometimes there's going to be 4 seams. So I don't necessarily need to go super fast. Maybe we need to give you some suggestions. Suggestions on my name for my machine. Sure, let's see what you got. Nice. Looks beautiful. And oh man, it stitched the lettering right on the double seams. So these letters right here, these numbers I mean, right here, the bottom of the numbers are right on the fold of a seam and it went through it. No problem. Little distorted right there, but I would expect that because it's like a valley of the seams. I'm not gonna do anything about it. It's fine. And we all know how mug rugs are. Eventually they get dirty. And that's fine. What do I have? Is that one big enough? Not quite. Some of these pieces might not be big enough. Just have to find the one that works. Ooh, that one works. Haha. Okay, so the smaller ones I'm going to set aside. Not going to touch them twice. My tape. This is going to go on the back of the machine, so I'm going to tape it in several places. That should be plenty. All right, now I'm going to do something completely crazy and cool. I can actually go back in the design I want to go back to color number 2. That was my bean stitch. so that I can attach this down, and then I'll go back to the satin. I love that you can move through the design like that, and you can be like, oh, I really need to go back to this step and sew that one again for whatever reason. In this case, it's because I need to make changes to the design. Yeah, and on the new software on the Summit, you can move through the design by stitches, either one stitch at a time, 10 or 100 at a time. You can move to a specific needle penetration, which we could do that before as well. And then you can move by trims. So if I was going through the lettering and I had an issue with one of the letters for some reason, I could go back to the previous letter or the beginning of that letter and sew the whole thing again. And you can also move by color, which colors in the design. So more options for moving through and working through a design, especially when you're doing some kind of a project like this where you're, you know, moving around in an applique, and I'm trying to, you know, perfect my design because I'm still kind of testing it out. It's only the second time I've ever sewn it. So working out the bugs in the design. Okay, that is done. Now then, I'm going to go to the last color, which is the cover stitch, because that's all I need to finish. Excellent. Now we get to find out if I trimmed it close enough or if I have to widen my stitch a little bit. I can only cut so close, right? First, is it a girl or a boy? So I think it's a girl. You know, this model of machine, they've always been kind of feminine for me. So I think it's a girl, definitely. Um, I do refer to all the machines that I work on for all my clients as my girls. So they're all feminine to me, unless someone specifically tells me their machine is masculine. But yeah, feminine, I believe. How about sunny? Okay, we will write that down as a suggestion. Let me find a piece of paper and a pencil. Yeah. Name suggestions for machine. Sunny. Peggy, do you have a suggestion? Oh, moonbeam. I see. I have two of my favorite people watching today. I like Moonbeam. I like Sunny. I like both of them. That's the hard part, though, right? About naming is you end up liking almost all of the names. Blink, bling, bling. It sings when it's done. Let me trim a couple of tails. A little bit poking out on one side, but I think I can make that go away with a cigarette lighter, but I think I will widen my stitches a little bit more on that. So I'm gonna switch over to the screen and we're gonna widen this and save our design and we're gonna send it over again. Still gonna be a usable piece, and I do like the darker color. Okay, so I'm gonna take my single line and I'm gonna make it, just gonna go 5 and see what 55 does, because I don't want it to turn into fill stitches. Nope. I will lower my density just a little bit. That's it. Got all my changes: walk stitch, placement stitch, tack down stitch, trim, my quilting, my lettering, my tack down stitch, and my cover stitch. All right, save. Okay, so yeah, I make this a little bit wider here because I do have some fuzz poking out here, and I don't have too much bobbin showing on the back side around here, so yeah, it looks great. It looks beautiful. I'm so happy. Yeah. And these are both gonna go in the stack of to done. All right, let's load. Let's go to settings. And let's change her name. Let's see how she feels as Sunny. Sunny kind of sounds more like a boy's name, though, for some reason. We'll see how it does. Okay, Sunny. So load the design. Load design. Go to my network. And I had it in personal. It would be nice if it kind of went back to the same folder you were in before, but it always reconnects to the network each time, so it's always starting from the beginning, which is fine. Okay, color sequence. Does any of my color sequence change? Purple, purple, yellow, purple, purple. I don't need an applique stop here, so we'll get rid of that because it's going to go straight from quilting to doing the lettering. Then it's gonna stop so I can add my fabric, but I do need it after, excuse me, sorry, bashing into things. I do need it after to trim before my, there, okay, so I moved it there. Okay, so I got my right stops. See the hoop. Who's texting me? Ah, appointments. Okay. Let's see. I am just gonna have enough stabilizer to do, I guess, 2. Gotta make sure the next one I hoop a little closer to the edge. There we go. Excellent. In and start. Are any of these pieces going to be big enough? Nope. That one is going to fit. Okay. Just leave that there. Blue, burgundy. Perfect. All right, tape. Miss Peggy, I was telling Mom all about your sewing room, your embroidery room. Okay, that looks good. Here we go. Boom. Perfect. Awesome. And this will go back in to be wrapped back into scraps. Sewn back into another piece of fabric. Pretty fabric. All right, see, these aren't cutting as good. Let me do one layer at a time. It's when I get to those seams that it's like, seams, I have to sew through too many layers of fabric. Why can't you cut and do normal things with me with scissors? Okay. Well, that was a pretty crappy cut job right there. All right, I think I got as close as I can get. It is not government work, so I'm not too concerned about it. It's just going to be pretty. And these scraps are big enough to go back into the mix too. Ooh. That's how I get all those little pretty pieces. All right, this is ready to quilt and sew some lettering. I forgot to see how long it took the last one. So this is my day. I'm just sewing it and sewing and sewing. I think I should probably figure out how many of these I gotta make. It's in the group chat. I'm thinking, according to the group chat, there's 11, but there's always a couple of people, extra people that show up. So I want to make myself one, 12, Drew one, 13, plus maybe 2 extra. So maybe I'll make 15 of them. So it says 13 minutes. So if they take about 15 minutes each to make, add time for trimming because this machine is only going to give me like sew time. So maybe every 20 minutes. So that's 3 an hour. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So that would be 5 hours of work. I'm not going to stay live for 5 hours. But let's see if I can figure out how long we've been streaming. Aha, an hour. I see it. Okay. All right. So I was thinking maybe I would only sew for about 2 hours. So you're welcome to hang out and stay with me the whole time or do some sewing along with me. But as always, I'm here for if you have questions, let me know. Did you digitize the quilting design? If so, how did you do that? No, I did not digitize the quilting design, but I will show you how I made it. So I will start a new project. Basically what I did was I drew a circle, and it's not going to be the same size. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and oh, I got a pile of fabric on my keyboard. That's not going to work. Shift and enter. No holes. Start, stop, direction. So you have your normal fill like this, right? And then that kind of looks weird. Okay, so you have choices with your fills, and all I did was go into it and select a decorative stitch. Depending on the version of software you have, will depend on what shapes you have available, because I'm using Design Shop 12, and 12 has a lot more patterns in it than version 11 did. And you can see this list of all the patterns that you could choose from. And I really don't even remember which one it is. I would have to go back and see. We'll just click apply. So there's like pinwheel. There's a chain. Let me turn on auto apply. Pebbles. So they did add a bunch of new ones. Yeah, rope is not. That one's full small bead spin. So just going to depend on what version of software you have as to what is available in here. Let's see what geometric is. Nope. Yeah, I don't remember. Which one I picked. Oh, let's go back and look and see. If I go to my complex fill, it's low poly. Low poly. Low poly. So that's kind of how I did that. It just depends on what decorative stitches are available in the version you're using. I don't remember, Miss Peggy, if you had Pro in your software or not. But you could also create your own decorative fill. I mean, it could be as simple as it starts off of a, well, let's delete this. We got to get rid of that. So it's off of the center point. So um, so you could do something like that. And like literally that could be a decorative stitch. All you have to do is go to save custom shape, call it test 01. We want it to be a decorative and okay. Go back to my fill stitch and test 01. And there's what I made. It's not very pretty, but I made something. And then you know how far apart it is. Decorative stitches can be really fun. Oh, Polly. See if we can space it out and see what it is. So it's whatever this shape is the original shape. So that's a pretty crazy shape to like make and then repeat as a repeating pattern. As it comes in, it looks like right here and goes out right there. So it's rotated a little bit on the axis too. So you can create your own if you have that ability in the software. Oh yes, I've got that. Okay, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the fun part. I just picked one that was preset. The new software just has so many new presets. It's just crazy. But that's what I got. So yeah, I guess you could come up with some kind of like shapes. I don't know where you would find some shapes that you could make decorative stitches out of, but there's a start point, you know, and then a shape and then an end point because they got to kind of connect to each other. So that's all based on that horizontal line. One day I'll get to play with that a lot more and make a lot of fun, cute stuff. You just got to have a pattern to start with. You know, like on my sewing machine, the one I used to have, my old Janome, had this wavy line, squiggly line, and then it would do a flower, and it would sat in the inside of the flower, and then it would finish the last petal, and then do the wavy line to connect. And maybe it went in and then it went out so that it would, when it connected, it did a wave. So, but I don't have that one in here. That one would be really cool to play with. So creating decorative stitches can definitely be a rabbit hole that you go down, for sure. With the looser tension, it's giving me a little bit more tails when it trims and goes to the next letter, but I can trim tails. That's not a big deal. But it looks beautiful. Look at this one. I know it's hard to see like with the brown behind the purple, but it really does in real life look, you could see it much better because, you know, the purple is the polyester, which is, you know, shiny. So pretty. Okay, stop looking at it and admiring and keep sewing. Just keep sewing. All right. Let's see. Is this piece big enough? Nope. Nope. I went through all that whole box, Mom, and I threw away so much of that old fabric. That one fits. To this, I kept this much. A handful and the big chunks because I wanted this project basket to be a small basket with my absorbent core pieces and then my little. But this mug rug thing, you could make anything. This is one of those projects where you can run wild with it and do birthday mug rugs, holiday mug rugs, anniversary, any kind of special graduation. Um, and the fabric choices are just endless. The quilting is endless. It's just okay. This is where it should do a bean stitch. Yes, perfect. Um, yeah, so you know this kind of project is easy to do, and you can go crazy with it. You saw that what I did. You know, it's not much. It's a walk stitch, a bean stitch. It's applique. You know how to do applique. You can do this. You can make the mug rugs in any shape you wanted. You could do a square. You could do an octagon, a hexagon. You could really do like any shape you wanted. A flower shape. You could make it like petals on the edges. Um, I mean, creativity can run wild with a project like this. That was what you know, you got, I was thinking about it for weeks, what I wanted to do, what shape I wanted to do, how did I want lettering, did I not want lettering? Of course I want lettering because it's, you know, it's a memento. And then I finally just had to sit down and go, just make something and go from there. And I made one test and didn't like it, didn't have any quilting, and it was bubbly, and I set my cup on it and it was wobbly, and I said nope, it's got to have quilting in it. So I just had to start making them and start fine-tuning what I wanted. And that's the only way I'm going to get it done is to start making them. Especially if I've got 15 of them to make before Thanksgiving, which is in like 2 weeks. Yeah, it's in 2 weeks. So I have 2 weeks to get 15 of these done. So this is probably what I will do for the rest of my day. Get as many as I can done today. If I stay on the course with 3 an hour, I could have them all done today. Won't get anything else done. All right. It didn't like sewing around the edge, so I had my tension high, and it's going around the outside edge, and it's sewing only on the tearaway, and didn't like that. It stopped with a false break. So I'm going to raise it back up now that I got past that point. It's so nice to be able to adjust your tension on the fly. Golden Dirt, you can do it! You could do eyeglass shape and embroider eyeballs. Ooh, you could. Scrap stash, look out, yes. I really do need to get the two of you together sewing. We could all three sew. Make a trip out of it. Yeah, I can do it. There are some things I want to accomplish outside, though. It's kind of nice outside. It rained earlier, so it's nice and cool outside. It's not hot sun beating down on you. And it gets dark at like 5 now, so maybe I could go outside, do something, and come back. Start sewing again at like after dinner for a couple of hours. Done. Okay, so total elapsed time was 15 minutes of stitching. So, yes. I think I'll hit the edges of these later with a lighter. Suck up all of the little flyby fuzzies. It does look good. Super fun cosmic print on the back. I think they all end up having cosmic print on the back. Nope, that one has flowery print on the back. I got 3 of my 15 done. All right, let's do another one. Okay, I was going to go a little closer to the edge with this one, so right there. And I don't need to make any more changes to my design. Just start. Oh yes, the tension is high, high, high. You're at 3. I know it's not the bobbin. Oh yeah, it is loose. Wah, wah. So bobbin. I have a B on my screwdriver for bobbin. All right. Forward. Happy. She's happy. Not big enough. You are just big enough. Okay. Let's see. Doggies. Put the doggies on the top of this one. Get my stick, my chopstick. I've had to sharpen in the pencil sharpener already. I'll have to make sure Paul, well, almost everybody that comes to the event are dog people, so they might fight over the dog one. Let's see, you can do it. Oh, nice, nice. Thank you, thank you. Good vibes are always appreciated. Get my tape off of here. And I'm going to do the 2 layers in a different cut. It seems to work better that way. Oh yeah, Jerry? I keep looking at Jerry. He's down at the other end of the house. Normally his bed is right underneath my machine where my feet are. And when I picked up his bed, told him he had to move, he went to the other end of the house. He's a good boy. He knows when I'm standing here that he's in the way, because he tried staying there one day and insisting on laying under my feet on no bed and found out that I stepped on him. I didn't step on him hard, but I just kind of put my foot on his foot now and then just to kind of tell him that he's in my way. He eventually moved. He realized. And I'm going to keep this scrap. Look at that. Ooh. It's like, how did I miss that? All right. See the doggies? All right. Now we let it sew. Let it sew. One inch. 1 inch. Yes. It is bigger than 1 inch. But this is how I get all the pretties. And I use every bit of the scraps. Here's one. Very thin line. I think that's like 1/8 of an inch. I've had some really, really teeny tiny pieces. When I was trying to squeak something that was even just a little smaller than 1 inch, that's when I realized with a 1/4 inch seam, you can't do anything less than 1 inch. I'm looking. These seem to all be big chunks. Here's a little tiny piece. Some of them have big chunks, some of them have small chunks. Oh, I can tell by the back, this one's been worked twice. Yeah, see, these are getting small here. And like this piece had a different type of water soluble behind it. And I used some of it on another project. And then what I cut off, I put in here and just worked into this line. Because that used to be strips that were all like this, one right after the other. That turned into that. Yes, crumb quilting. Who knew I would love crumb quilting? Yeah, say more fun. This one is another strip that I cut off from another project and added in. Yeah, I just love this. There's a strip of pieces that are all about 1/2 inch. They're all just so beautiful. This was obviously like a strip from a quilt. Some, I don't know, orphan blocks maybe that I put in here. Nothing real big or fancy there. Or real small. Where was it? I just had one. Oh yeah, this strip. This strip got thinner and thinner and thinner. Here's a piece. This was like some test quilt strip from some scraps from another lady's project, and I just worked it in. Tiny little pieces there. But it doesn't matter what color it is. It's all just beautiful. Animal print would be fun, yes. To crumb quilt, absolutely. Oh yeah, with all the different patterns of like a zebra print and a leopard print and giraffes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, who knew I would like fall in love with crumb quilting? To make, oh, huh, look at this tiny piece of fabric. It's like a 1/4 inch by 1/2 inch. The stripes. Just a stitching. All right, chat. Yeah, animal print. Weren't we gonna animal print? That's the one you're gonna do for Jonathan, right? The animal print one. All right, let me check chat. Yes, yes. Maybe some animal print flying geese. Cow prints. You could probably come up with enough prints that you could do a really crazy flying geese. feel like I'm standing at a command center, like adding the whole like screen. It's like I'm in a cockpit. Now I just need a stool. That doesn't sit me on the ground. I have a stool in here, but it sits me so low. It's up to here. And guys, don't forget, give me a thumbs up on the video today. That helps my algorithm. If you haven't hit the bell, which obviously you hit the bell because you knew I was going live, so that's good. Thank you. Guess if you had like some small crumb piecing of a bunch of like holiday fabric, that was all holiday fabric, you could do like a Christmassy one. Or if you had orphan blocks from some other projects, you could just throw those down, make those into mug rugs. I'm not going to intentionally make any specific Christmas stuff, holiday stuff. It's all intermixed in here. Valentine's. There was some Christmas earlier. It's already in here. Gets your ideas flowing. Yeah, it definitely gets the ideas going for sure. Oh no, Jerry's all up and excited. His daddy's home from his wild adventures into Titusville. All right, put my back piece on. That one's too small. Jerry got a tree. That one's too small. Too small. This is like a whole series of too smalls. I can almost look at the size of the scrap now and know it's too small. Woo, that one will work. Welcome home. I've had my two favorite people watching me the whole time, hanging out.
I do it as well. See, which is lurking.
Lurking? Lurking is fine. And let's attach that. Let's see. You could do angel or other Christmas shapes. Eyelets to the top, and voila, Christmas tree ornaments. I love it. Yes, absolutely. Okay, trim this. I'm not using any special tape. It's just masking tape from Dollar Tree. Or maybe I went to Dollar General up the street to get it because I ran out. Yeah, I'm not using special tape. Like, you could use frog tape, which doesn't leave a residue, but I'm not leaving the tape on long enough or sticking it to a spot in the design or to leave a residue, to have an issue with residues, so I'm not really worried about that. The fancy embroidery stuff is just for, if you're going to be leaving it on there for a while because it's going to take you a while to finish the project, you don't want a residue. All right. Jerry got mail. All right, so I think I'll hang out and do one more today. Like I said, I want to do for 2 hours. See, same thing. It's right on that edge. And I had my tension high. Let me go back. Maybe I'll take that edge walk out so it'll stop doing that. That would be a setting in the software. That would be a setting in the software. So the piece of the design that keeps giving me this problem where it stops with the false breaks is this setting. So the piece of the design that keeps giving me this problem and I'm just going to double click. So the piece of the design that keeps giving me this problem where it stops with the piece of the design that keeps giving me this stop doing that. So the piece of the design that was a pretty quick easy fix there. The piece of the design that keeps stop doing that. So the piece of the design that was a pretty quick easy fix there. The piece of the design that was giving me this. Okay. Chat. Okay. Nothing new in chat. I have to stop yawning. Bling. And you can still see the doggy. So cute. I love them. These are amazing. And I'm like in my 55. I might actually widen it out to 60. I think I'm gonna go a little wider. I'm still getting too many fuzzies on the edge. Still getting too many fuzzies on the edge. That's my single line center. And I'm just gonna go up to 60. Still getting too many fuzzies on the edge. That's my single line center. It is still not single line center. Good. Okay, save. All right. Reload the new one. Center. Good. Okay, still not single line. Get this one loaded before I move forward. That was in personal. Oh yeah, plenty of good stabilizer for doing two. All right. So color sequence is going to stay the same. Not making any changes to that. I just made changes to things. 3 and good. That's it. Ready to go. Find some pieces to fit. And see if this is wide enough. Nope. Nope. Ooh, this one works. Yeah, that one will fit. These two are too small. All right. Now then. Just right there. That's in. That's in. That's in. All right, this is gonna work. Okay. Fabrics are in place. Woohoo! Let's talk about close. It's like so close. So I kind of decided that when I do my Sunday fun days, I'm just going to do them for 2 hours. Hard knot cutting over 4 layers of that same. Woohoo! Are you making coffee? Can I have coffee? Make yours first.
Regular or regular?
I think I'm gonna go with regular coffee. Some perfect pieces. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right. I think I've gotten as close as I can get. This one started. I can get one more out of this piece. It's wide enough here, not here. Nice. Let's see. Gotta go. Love ya. Okay, bye, Peggy. See ya. Thank you for stopping by. Beautiful. It's sewing all of the lines multiple times. Just watching it run. That's why it's nice and tight. I still have it on 3. I'm going to leave it on 3 and see how it goes. It's running at 27, but my minimum's at 3, so I'm going to leave it at 3 and see how it runs. Woo, thank you. Happy. So I think I came up with making 15. I counted how many people were on the chat. And then I added.
Jen, Chris, Todd, Patrick, me, you, Jane,
Dumplin was in there, and
Kate. In there, but she didn't answer.
and also
People in there that we were just setting in the
who is coming. Okay.
right
Okay. So I counted her, and then I also counted a +1, and then I counted Paul and Jen. I counted them as well. So that's how I came up with 15. Mendoza, I like your table. Yeah, so this is the extra large tabletop. Let me see if I can put a link to that. I'll put a link to it in the description of the video. I don't think I can do that now, but I can add it to it. Let's see. So I'm going to switch my screen and I'll show you where it is. We'll actually look it up together. So I'm going to switch my screen and I'll show you where it is. So basically I'm going to go to Shop Melco. Okay, so to get it, I'm going to go to Shop Melco. I'm going to go to Shop Melco. I'm just going to put table. It's going to come up with all kinds of tables, but but this is the one that I have here. This is the extra large tabletop. They don't have a picture of it. Like they have this small one, which I think is for children's garments, and a medium one for like shirts and things. And then this table is this piece here. And a medium one. This is what I actually have right now on the shop, which is the EMT 16 large tabletop. So it's for the EMT 16, 60 plus. If you don't have the EMT, but you have the XTS or the XT or the Bravo, you would use this one. If you have the Bernina, then you're going to use this one that I have, which is also the EMT. EMT, this would, no wait, hold on. The Bernina is going to be like the Bravo one. So yeah, if you have the Bernina E16, you're going to use this table. Yeah, Bernina is going to be like XTS because those bases are the same as the Bernina base. So this will fit on that one. Yeah, depends on what model machine you have. As to your bases will fit on that one. The one that I have on my 16 is the 34730 actually has 2 Bernina. And yes, it is top of the box. Not the Okay, I have a question. I want to buy a mask of air, and I want to know if it works. Okay, I have no idea. I do not use the Welcome software. I have no idea. I do not use the Wilcom software, and I do not know if it's supported on a Mac. I use the Design Shop software, which comes from Melco, and it is Windows-based only. So you would probably have to look that up. and go to Wilcom and find out if Wilcom will be supported on that. But yeah, I don't have Wilcom. I need a bobbin. I'm going to continue with just white bobbins. So yeah, go to your Wilcom, find out if it's supported there first before you make that purchase, because I know Max and stuff can be pretty pricey. Yeah, I've never had a Mac because my first computer was to run my first Melco machine in 2000, and I've been Windows based ever since. So I sit down in front of an Apple and I am a toddler. I still don't know how to get around in a Mac. See, I don't know English. I would like you to write about my question. I am from Peru. So it says sign in to chat over there. Would I have to tap on that in order to type into chat? So I can type in there, down at the bottom where it says chat. Oh, that's fine. I can type it right there. Okay.
You're doing pretty good with your English so far.
Well, it's Google Translate too, right? So let's see. All right, looks good. You know, I'm always gonna go in and trim a little here and trim a little there before I put my next layer. This bottom has got a really big knot, like right here. There's like 4 layers right in the seam. Too small, too small, too small. All right, the backing is taped in place. Get that stitched on. The small scraps away. There we go. Okay. Tripod. All right, I can get rid of this off my screen. Haha. Okay. Trim, trim, trim. I can hear it when it hits that thick area. Just letting it run. Let me check chat. Chat looks good. Yes, what I'm gonna do with my Sunday Fundays is I'm gonna run for 2 hours whenever I get started. So I'm actually getting close to my 2 hour mark. Once I finish this piece, I'm gonna kind of wrap up today's session. So if you haven't already hit the subscribe button, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. My channel, and if you want to know when I go live again, don't forget to hit the bell and tell all so you get all notifications, and give my video a little thumbs up for sure. And if you are interested in the summit machine that I am running with today, then there is a link in the description to a form you can fill out that will get you in touch with a sales representative, so you can find out if you can either get a new machine, or if you're wanting to look on trading in your machine, which is continental US only and with no leases or liens. So you have to own your machine outright. Okay, no new chests. Copy. Well, yes, copy. Bling. Oh yeah, it went right over that edge really good. This was the edge I was concerned about, where it was really thick right along here, because there was an extra seam, and it actually covered almost all of it. There's one tiny little sliver of yellow left you can see at the very bottom. My last one. The light glistening just right. So these are what we made today. If you missed any part of the video and you would like to go back, I do go over how I create the whole file and work with the design inside, the quilting that's inside here, so you can create your own super cute, festive mug rugs. So until the next Funday Sunday, look forward to some videos and I will see you soon. Don't forget to anything in the comments, if you need a video for how to do anything with the machine or the design shop software, just give me a little comment and I'll see if I can work on a video for you next. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.